Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Powerful Stuff. Powerful Stuff is your guide to connecting deeper with yourself and thus connecting more deeply with others, hosted by yours truly, Meredith Baker, leadership coach, aspiring musician, sweet potato aficionado, and currently White Lotus and Severance fan and just analyzer and everything in between. Anyone else with me? I literally look forward to the new episodes each week and then do deep dives with my husband. It's really powerful. However, today is not about that. Today is about cord cutting ceremonies and getting closure on relationships, jobs, chapters of our life that we want to gracefully let go of, gracefully release control around, give gratitude for, and get that energy converted into serving us in this next chapter. And I had the idea for this today. I'm actually reporting live from my friend Jimbo's house. First shout out of the podcast. Shout out Jimbo for hosting us in Fort Mason in San Francisco. And all of that's to say, it's our first time back in California in 4.5 months. So much has changed. And as I mentioned last week, I was at my friend's wedding in Tulum. And coming back here, it's also like stepping into spring, closing the chapter of a trip, returning to LA, same, but different. And I thought, also in talking to a lot of my clients this week, and people going through their own transitions, what would be a really powerful episode today is walking you through a cord cutting ceremony. Let's do it together in real time, because I know that I'm kind of cord cutting from past versions of myself. Before the trip, during the trip. I'm also, this year I just turned 34, mantra 34, better than ever before. And, my husband and I are starting to think about the next chapter in parenthood. And so it would be like saying goodbye to maidenhood. So whatever you might be saying goodbye to, like I said, it could be a job, it could be a friend, it could be maybe a friend that you're still going to be friends with, but you're just saying goodbye to a different version or a different chapter of that friendship. A past partner. Cord cutting ceremonies help us give closure to and honor the role that something served in this point in our life. And it's hard when sometimes we just move on really quickly and we don't acknowledge the yes and the complicated things about it, the hard things, but also like the joyful things, the things that it taught us. And even if we're not bringing it into this chapter, it doesn't mean we have to like suppress it or erase it or forget about it. We can take the time to honor it so we can properly move forward without that energetic connection that is still kind of keeping us being tugged to the past chapter. Are you with me? So today, I thought about that for my own self, kind of in reflecting on coming back to California as a new me, entering into this new chapter on relationships that have shifted. And I really want this to be a cathartic episode for you, for anything that you're closing the loop on, so to speak. And even just if nothing specific comes to mind, it can be this idea of doing a cord cutting ceremony around whatever you were cocooning in over the winter, however you were turning inward and the thing that might have kept you safe. Kind of like the idea of cocooning is you eventually shed the cocoon and become a butterfly. So it's whatever that thing was that was keeping you safe that maybe now you're ready to outgrow and open your wings and spread your wings. And so before we start the ceremonial process, guys, I wanted to share an anecdote with you that I learned in my yoga teacher training 13 years ago. That's crazy. Wow. So the anecdote that I heard in my yoga teacher training 13 years ago was, imagine that you're walking across a long, arduous path over mountains to get to your destination, and you come to a river, and it's fast and it's furious and it's deep, and you can't just like swim across this river. You want protection. You want a vehicle, a boat, a raft to get you across. So you cut down all of this wood, and you make this really sound raft. The raft gets you to the other side of the river, and you are so grateful for it. You're so grateful for this raft, yet you have a decision to make. Do you, because you're so grateful for this raft and it literally like saved your life in some ways, do you carry it on your back on the off chance that maybe you'll come across another river, or to pay homage to how it just helped you? Or do you gracefully thank it for its service and let it be? And who knows, maybe someone else is coming in the opposite direction and needs it to get to the other side, you know? So hopefully you see with this, no wrong answers, but I'm like, but guys, there is a right answer. But hopefully you see that actually it would be quite burdensome. Burdensome? It would be heavy, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It would be heavy to carry this raft, to keep it on your back. It would be like blood, sweat, and tears to drag it forward. It would actually probably be more trouble than it's worth to continue to pull it forward into the next chapter with you. So you gracefully let it go, you thank it for its service, and you carry on, continuing to travel light. And so this is the idea of the cord cutting ceremony. It's the idea of gratitude for how something has helped us up until this point, and recognizing that right now it would be actually more burdensome to continue carrying it with us. And it's actually best left placed down and gratefully let go so we can continue to carry on in lightness. And I know I certainly have, and in talking to past clients, have had like guilt around letting things go when it has served you well and when you are grateful for it. And so, that's the power, the beauty, the magic, the alchemy of the cord cutting ceremony. It's acknowledging it's okay to feel those complex emotions around it, and you can still honor it, and you can still let it go. It's a lot of this yes and that we talk about that just keeps sneaking back up on us. And guys, I'm not going to lie to you. This week I did cord cutting ceremonies around like maidenhood to motherhood. I'm not like pregnant yet, but I feel like it's coming this year potentially. I did cord cutting ceremonies around versions of friendships where I'm still friends with people, but maybe our dynamic has shifted. And I did a cord cutting ceremony around that, of just like grieving that while still allowing, accepting, and being grateful for what the relationship has morphed into. And I've done cord cutting ceremonies around like, as I narrow my focus and my, platform around different parts of myself that I like, or my projects that I'm putting down for now, to like really focus and zoom in on the next iteration of what I'm creating in Meredith bigger and powerful stuff. Okay, so that being said, welcome to your cord cutting ceremony. I'm so glad that you're here. It's very brave, it's very courageous, and it's very intentional to be here participating in this cord cutting ceremony with me. So if you can light some candles around you. Maybe you can sage or Palo Santo or light some incense to open the space. And if you don't have any of those things available, you can also just I like to like snap my fingers, kind of clearing the air. Maybe like kind of blowing, like you're blowing a daffodil, and kind of moving your hands above you, like you're kind of sweeping away the energy and opening the portal. And as you're opening the portal for the cord cutting ceremony, allow yourself to just feel an immense amount of gratitude, to be in the perfection of this present moment, of closing what was and welcoming what is. And so to start with the cord cutting ceremony, I want you to just call to mind, we're going to do the meditation a little bit later, but just start by calling to mind this thing that you're ready to release, and just starting to feel the emotions that it brings up. Maybe it's grief, maybe it's sadness, maybe it's, a joy or a nostalgia. Just feeling all of it, maybe deepening your breath to make space for all of those emotions. And taking a few breaths to really sink into them. And then as you're feeling into all of those emotions, giving yourself full permission right now to feel whatever needs to be felt fully, because it's all in service of this experience, of this cord cutting. So we're going to just first open the space with this cord that we're still connected to this person, this thing, by just starting in gratitude, saying, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing me to this moment. Thank you for all that I've learned from you, whether intentional or indirectly. And then we're going to go ahead and if you have a journal, you can write this out, or you can pause the recording after I give the prompt and you can speak it out. But it is encouraged to write it on actual paper if you can, for some of the somatic stuff that we'll be doing after. So I want you to now write this thing a letter. I want you to write it a letter. And at first, I want you to get out any of the complex emotions. You can always start off with like one line of gratitude of, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for this journey that we've shared together. So start with that little piece of gratitude. And then the first half of the letter, I kind of want you to get out all the fuck yous, all the like ways that maybe there's still remaining things that you wanted to say to this person or this job or whatever it might be. There's still things on your heart. And I want you to get that out in the first half of the letter and like, don't hold back. You're not actually going to send this to this person or this thing. So like get out all the things that were challenging, all the times you felt misunderstood. And then once you've kind of gotten all of those things out, it's so important because I'll first tell you why, and then we'll go to what the second part is. But yeah, it's important to kind of acknowledge like that inner child in you that maybe didn't get to express these things or didn't feel safe to express these things or communicate. So it's important to get these things out. So like that part of you feels seen and that part of you feels heard and that part of you feels expressed, because we don't want to be hanging on to any resentment after this cord cutting ceremony. And how we can get rid of resentment is to actually acknowledge what we wanted to say and to get it out. As the Beatles say in Hey Jude, let it out to let it in. And so that's what we're doing in this first part of the letter. So go ahead and write it out and get, like, maybe you put on some fuck you music. I personally like The Only Thing We Know by Bob Moses or Sirens by Monolink, and spend like 3 or 4 minutes just like pouring it all out, not letting your pen leave the paper. And then we'll circle back on what the second part of the letter should be. So go ahead and pause it and get to it. Okay. Welcome back. So now hopefully you've done your first half of the letter of just getting it all out, getting out all the fuck yous, getting out all the things that felt like hard or difficult or that you wish this person or this job or whatever knew. And now you're moving into compassion in the second part of the letter of knowing that, you know, this person was just doing the best they could with what they had, or the people in this job, and having compassion for them for where they are right now. And also, as you're writing it, hopefully the compassion morphs into gratitude, because you're saying like, I get it. I understand why this might have also been difficult for you. And I'm actually grateful for it because here's what it taught me, right? So it's compassion and moving into gratitude by the time you're so acknowledging like how they might be feeling. And I'm grateful, right? Because, or like how compassion can morph into gratitude, because it's like you're trying to intuit how they might be feeling. And it can morph into gratitude because it's like how great of an experience and perspective expanding to acknowledge all these different sides of this situation and acknowledge how strong you are to come out on the other side as well. Regardless if the other person or thing has taken ownership for their side of things, if that's something that you felt that you needed. So compassion and then gratitude. And it's important to, you know, get the fuck yous out before the compassion and gratitude, honestly, because that getting it out actually helps make it easier for compassion and gratitude in the long run. Okay, so all the things that you kind of can relate to, why that might have been hard and why you're grateful for it. And as you get into that second part with the gratitude, you might even morph into not only why are you grateful for it, but how have you grown from it? So now you can pause the recording again. do compassion and gratitude. There's a great song, I forgive myself and release, but you're also forgiving this other person at the same time. And go ahead and get into that gratitude, get into that compassion, and pause. And then welcome back to the other side of that pause. So now that you've gone into the compassion and the gratitude, then you can get into what have I learned, which we kind of already talked about, but also how am I grateful to be taking this with me? I'm so grateful because actually this is how I've grown from it. And this is how I'll be implementing and integrating it into my next chapter. So thank you, because it's actually making me stronger and giving me a vision for what's come next, or help me narrow my, you know, intention and desire of what I want next, because this experience helped me refine my taste palette for it, made me made me work for it, made me step up for it. And so after you kind of give thanks, I want you to end with like, and my wish for you is this: as we go our separate ways, my wish for you is that you blank, right? You've given them thanks for how it's helped you learn and helped you grow. And now you're also giving them a nice wish and sending them off in a nice wish, in a beautiful, powerful way. So once you've given them this nice wish, and you've sent them your blessings, we're going to put down our pen. We're going to go into a meditation, and then we're going to go into a somatic release with this letter. Okay, so go ahead and find a nice, comfortable seat. We'll take a deep breath into our nose and open mouth exhale. Softening in, another breath in. Exhale, releasing any parts of your body that you're holding on to, that you're contracting, that you're feeling tense. And third and deepest breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. And I want you to imagine this person or this thing in front of you. Just noticing, after you've kind of written out all these emotions, the anger, the gratitude, the sadness, the grief, just noticing how it feels with them in front of you. And as you notice them in front of you, you notice this cord that still remains between the two of you. Before we do our process on the cord, just noticing how much energy feels like it's flowing between you and them. And if it feels positive, if it feels stagnant, knowing it's okay to feel whatever you need to feel with it. And similar to the letter, looking at this person or this thing, and first just getting out kind of what you said in the letter, but just telling it to their face internally. And just imagine them holding space for it, receiving it. Most of all, imagine yourself just feeling heard and validated. And the important thing is that you're giving that to yourself right now. Letting the emotions come out. And then when you feel like you've gotten out the anger or the tough emotions, going into that compassion, seeing them maybe as their younger self, morphing into their younger self. And if it's a job, maybe just seeing the people within the job, a few of the key players in that job as their inner child. Or maybe if it's like a company or a thing in your own life you're letting go of, just seeing it kind of in its infancy with compassion. Seeing that it was trying to do the best it could with what it had, or seeing all of the moments of that freshness and that joy that you shared with it at some point in time. And just looking with compassion and gratitude for all that it has helped you with. And whether it realized it or not, or even if it felt challenging, just giving it thanks right now, saying thank you. Thank you for helping make me into the person that I am today. I want to acknowledge you for that. Thank you. And as you feel it, receive that, feeling yourself soften. Now we're going to go into our ritual around it internally. Now that you feel seen, it feels like it's received all of your emotions around it. You're going to breathe in, breathing in all of the negative or hard emotions you feel toward this person or thing, feeling them swell up in your body like black tar. And then as you exhale, feeling that tar leave your feet into the earth, becoming a simple, clear vessel. On your next breath in, breathe in, imagining this tar fill their body. And as you exhale, imagine it leave their body, leaving their heels, cleansing them into an empty, clear vessel. And then looking at them and saying, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And then putting your hands next to their hands, or if it's like an old company or a business or a part of yourself, kind of imagining that personified, putting your hands palms to palm and breathing in, almost like you're breathing in this third entity of the energy between the two of you. Breathing it in, seeing it like black tar, and exhale, seeing the black tar leave this vessel in between you, returning to earth. Second breath in, breathing in, seeing it as like a clear, empty vessel, and exhale, releasing it. Telling the space in between you, this third entity, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And then breathing in, feeling your own body fill up with golden light. Exhale, feeling the golden light diffuse to all parts of your body, your crown to your toes, to your fingers, to your nose. Breathing in, visioning this golden light filling up the body of this other person. Exhale, feeling the golden light flush their entire body, covering them in this magical dust. And then third and deepest breath, breathing in this golden light and this entity in the space between you, and exhale, breathing this golden light out, enveloping the auras of both of you and every space beyond. And as you feel in this state of equanimity and grace and love and compassion, you reach down to pick up a pair of golden scissors. And as you pick up these golden scissors with so much love and so much grace, that energetic cord that was between you two, you simply cut it and snip it. And you feel the cord gently fall down. And all of a sudden, you feel this energy come back to you that was drained outside of you. You see that energy go back to them, and you see them start to float away like a little balloon in your mind's eye, going to the top left corner of your mind's eye, getting smaller and smaller and smaller as they float away. All of their energy coming back to them, all of your energy come back to you. And as they float away, feeling that energy, that lightness of it being reinvested in both of you, actually strengthening your roots, lifting you, actually strengthening their roots, lifting them, allowing them to float away until they're just a little speck, and you feel all of your energy come back to yourself. And as you feel all the energy come back to yourself, you walk around. You notice this beautiful, beautiful golden mirror where you get to catch a reflection of you on the other side of this cord cutting, feeling full of vitality, ease, and gratitude. And you put your hand to the mirror, like your palm to palm, like you did before, but this time with yourself in the reflection, feeling all of this golden energy completely within you, completely ready to what you're to create next, and asking this all-knowing reflection of you, how has releasing this energy, how is cutting this cord serving you in this next chapter? Trusting whatever they say. And then asking them, how can you honor? How can you honor this cord being cut for yourself and for your inner child? What do they need to feel completely complete in this experience? Thanking your all knowing vision, let them know how grateful you are, feeling this within yourself, and then giving yourself a hug, feeling this complete energy, all you need right here. And as you hug yourself, feeling your inner child on the inside feel so safe, knowing that you've honored and prioritized them through cutting this cord, that you're always here for them. They're always your priority. Feeling the warmth and protection of your highest self at the same time as you're holding your inner child, all of you complete and perfect in this moment. Taking a deep breath in and then opening your eyes, coming back into this space. And as you softly come back into the space, to complete the cord cutting, now that you've already cut with the golden scissors, we're going to take the thing that you wrote in your journal and we're actually going to rip it out. We're going to rip it out, and with so much gratitude, you're going to place it on your heart and you're going to say, thank you. Thank you for all that you've taught me. I'm ready to convert you into soil. And then you're going to get to rip it up. You're going to rip it up, and you might even like rip it into tiny pieces. If you have a metal bowl near you, you might actually like do a little safe fire, or you can light it on fire in the sink, or you can flush it down the toilet, or you can like stomp on it. And any last emotion you need to get out, you can scream into a pillow. I want you to like pull out any last emotion from your body, rub your hands together, like you're converting all of that into fire and heat, and then stomping on it on the ground. And then once you feel like you've gotten it all out, you've shaked it out, you've gotten it all out, outstretch your hands out to the sky like you're receiving all of this light, this energy back to you. It's coming up through your toes, your heels, up your knees, your thighs, your hips, your heart, out your fingertips, feeling as expansive as the sun. And then hugging yourself one more time, feeling that completeness within yourself. And then now you're going to write a new letter. This letter is to yourself. You're going to write a letter to yourself of how proud you are of yourself for how you moved through that chapter, of what you learned, and of what you're ready to do next. But like you're talking to yourself, like you're celebrating yourself. So I'd be like, dear Meredith, I'm so proud of you for what you learned through this situation or through that friendship. I know that those learnings will live on through XYZ. I acknowledge your like how you've shown up for your friend, what you've learned from it. And I'm so excited to create XYZ with you next, right? So really acknowledging yourself, acknowledging also if you're what your inner child needs to move forward, and acknowledging your pride in yourself for showing up and for doing the work. And for this portion of the song or portion of the ceremony, I like to put on Cellular Upgrade or Dear Soul as songs, or if you want to go a little pop, you could do Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. But give yourself a few minutes to really write this letter to yourself, acknowledging your courage and acknowledging your excitement for now that you have all this energy with you. How is that informing you moving forward as you continue on your own upward spiral? So go ahead and pause and write that letter. Okay, welcome back. What a powerful letter. I'm feeling the self-love radiate from the speakers, from you, that I'm getting from you across time and space dimension. It's powerful. So now that you have the letter, you can place one hand on the letter, one hand on your heart. Just one more time, breathing in that golden light. Exhale, feeling it all complete within yourself with so much gratitude for how that chapter got you to exactly here, the perfect launch pad for where to go next. And then thanking that person or that job, that thing, thanking yourself, thanking the universe for these lessons. And you can go ahead and light your sage or Palo Santo or incense again, wave it around, clear the space, or if you don't have those, you can snap, blow out your candles, and your cord cutting ceremony is complete. And I'm so excited to hear what comes out of your cord cutting ceremony. So if you've just completed it, be gentle with yourself. Continue to know that if like grief or other emotions come up after you've done the cord cutting, it's totally okay. It's just to check in with your inner child and be like, okay, what do you need? Or like gently and lovingly checking in with them and continuing to acknowledge their emotions and celebrate them for doing this work. Because sometimes we pull back layers and layers and layers, and the initial cord cutting might bring up other things to continue to unpack. And the key is to stay in presence and awareness around it, and self-compassion, and in excitement for doing this work and continuing to travel light and be the light. And how powerful is that? Well, thank you guys for sticking with me on this. And I want to hear more from you. Message me about which Powerful Stuff episodes you're loving, what you want to hear more of. And I hope to see some of you Wednesday. I'm doing a virtual upgrade meetup for my past, present, and future upgrade members. So if you want to rewire an old belief into a new empowered belief, hit me up for the link. I would love, love, love to have you. And also, if you're curious about joining my group coaching program, the upgrade, the next cohort starts in April. And it's seriously insane how much can happen in 3 months. I talk about it all the time when you show up for yourself on a weekly basis with other inspired women. So if you're curious about that, you can go to my website, themeredithbaker.com, and click on the upgrade at the top, or you can message me again, me at themeredithbaker.com. Thank you all for this powerful cord cutting ceremony. I hope it was as powerful for you as it was for me. And I will see you next week for more powerful stuff. Hey, you. Thank you for coming on this powerful journey with me. I hope it was as powerful for you as it was for me. And if it was, it would mean the world to me if you rate, review, and subscribe to Powerful Stuff so I can keep bringing you the goods. We can keep going on this transformative journey together. And if there's powerful stuff that you want to share with me, with the Powerful Stuff community, tag us on Instagram at That's Powerful Stuff or The Meredith Baker. And I look forward to seeing you next week for more powerful stuff.